Hello, my dashers. Welcome back. I am alive. I am kicking. I am still here. Oh my goodness. It has been one heck of a crazy weekend. It was my first ever show and for ODT Crystal Jewelry. And of course, I'm like, of course, ladled up. So I had my booth, I had, everything out. I had my business cards and all that fun stuff. Learned a lot actually. It was kind of slow. They did have a lot of people, but I think what they did was they doubled the vendors this year. It literally, there were five other jewelry makers within my one row. Um, and so that was kind of a little bit difficult having competition like right near the same area as you are, which kind of was a bit of a bummer. But, I did end up going just a little over breaking even. So I think it was like 20 or $30 more than breaking even, which is hey, I got to make the booth money back. So honestly, I'm okay with that. I felt it was more um, you know, uh, I'm more or less getting my name out there and actually doing the shows. I actually have another show coming up December 9th and 10th. Um, so I will be doing that as well as looking into other events that are around here during the holidays. Um, it also made me realize, I need to look at my website and I need to price accordingly. So I will, as you all know, I'm revamping the ODT Crystal Jewelry site. So to be a little bit more economic friendly. So I know it's, it wasn't that, my prices were out of line because actually I went to other vendors. Sis was able to come and help and watch the booth while I went around to see what other vendors and what other jewelry people were doing. So it was kind of, they were charging around the same prices as I was. So at least I know I wasn't overpricing myself. Um, and actually, I thought about it and said, maybe I can get a better deal. Let me, see if I can't rework the number. Hey, Pam is in the house. Hello, Pam. How are you? I hope you're doing well. Thanks for showing up. I know it's later than usual because um, the event went Saturday and Sunday, so I had 2 days. And so you have to, the, the thing is Friday they let you go in and they let you set up on Friday. So that was kind of nice. But on Sunday, everyone, all 300 vendors are fighting to get out and get done. Um, and it was just like, "Oh my goodness, are you kidding me? Really?" Um, so I was like, "Okay," having to break down everything, pack everything back up, and then fighting with everyone about, loading their cars and getting checked out and, whereas on Friday it was kinda like casual, everybody just showed up and did what they wanted, which was kinda nice. And then you know, the big onslaught came. So I knew I was going to be late, and that's why I went on earlier to say, hey guys, sorry. I know it's an hour later and I know it's late, but hey, I wanted to come and say, give you a recap of what was going on. So how are you, Pam? Are you doing all right? What's your next journey and jaunts out there? Um, yeah, I have been crazy busy and now I'm just kind of like, okay, I'm just going to take a breath now for a minute because when you know that there's about 4,000 people showing up, you're like, okay, man, what happens if I sell it? Do I have enough stock? Do I have enough this? Do I have enough that? Oh, what about this? Or what about that? It was kind of nice to get that first show over with. So now I'm like, I know what to expect. And I also know, like, from what I had at first, I had the tables aligned and then, like a square. But what people were doing is they were seeing the end caps and just walking by. They wouldn't even look at what was in the inside. So I ended up turning the tables in so they had a better view of all of the stuff at one glance. And I started getting people to come in. So, and then if people were like looking and then stopping, then keep going, hey, take my business card. So who knows. But it was crazy, crazy, crazy busy as far as, trying to get my name and crystal jewelry out there. I mean, Pam, you have a few of my pieces, and but a lot of people don't know, that it's quality beads and how I do things, and it just takes time for that to really come up. Doing well, just came back from Arizona Boreal State Park. I did an awesome hike. Awesome. I love, hiking with I have my ultralight stuff from Z-Packs and my Z-Packs duplex and all that fun stuff, because one of these days I am going to do the Appalachian Trail. Appalachian, however you'd like to say it, Appalachian. But I will be doing the Appalachian Trail through hike. I don't know if I'm going to do it this year because I've just got so many things on my plate right now. I just kind of want to take it easy. And usually they start around, well, some even start in February, which is crazy cold for the Smokies. No, I'm like, I don't think I could do that. I probably will start March if I do the Appalachian Trail. I won't be doing it this year. I just get too much stuff on my plate. So I might do it next year. We'll just happen to see. But sounds great. So you had a nice hike in and everything else. Great. Hey, Adele, how are you? Love, love, love. He's like, hi there. So yeah, it's been a heck of a week. Now I've got everything unpacked from the car, but not unpacked. So I know I'll probably be doing that. I am exhausted. My body is screaming because I set up and took down by myself, because obviously I have to make sure that I can do it. And it was, oh my gosh. He goes, this is hello, hello. Did a nice hike by the riverbed with my friend and her dog. Oh, nice. That's awesome. She did the Arizona Borrego State Park. So that was, I mean, I can't wait to start like going to, the parks and everything else. It is just crazy. Hey, my brother from another mother. Hey, you made it. Yeah, so did I. Yeah, I kind of tried to do a live, but it kind of got cut short because, yeah, the internet was just not having it. So I was like, well, sorry, guys. So I just wanted to come in and let you know I was going to be a little late because I knew, trying to get out with 300 vendors all trying to get out at the same time was going to be crazy. So, hey, Rose. No, you're not. You're not late. Nobody's late. Nobody's ever late. Yeah, how's the weather in Arizona? Everybody's saying hi. Adventure spirits. Pam, Adele, Rose. Oh yeah, my family is here. Whoop whoop. Hey Eddie and Spence. How you doing? Crazy, crazy. Um, yeah, oh. I mean, my sister was there, thank goodness. She actually got me some food. She helped me out, like watching the booth so I could take around and see what other people were doing and how the traffic was in certain areas. So for next year, I would know where to go. Um, but it seemed to be evened out. I think because they doubled the vendors and it's still the same amount of people, it was less like congested and more kind of spread out. Um, but I definitely know now where I want to go where it was more busier than most. So we will end up doing that. Mo Bangbeer. Thank you, Rose, for dropping all the links. Well, the jewelry sales I made the booth money, so I made even, with probably about maybe a 20 or $30 profit. Uh, it's the first one, so I kinda expected that it wasn't going to go like gangbusters, kinda praying it would, but, you know, a lot of people don't know who I am, so I was passing out business cards like crazy. I was, getting my name out there, which is pretty much, what you gotta expect for your first show. So I did pretty good as far as that. At least I broke even, it got the booth money, how much it cost for the booth. I made $20 over that. So hey, I'll take it. Yay. Mid 70s. Oh, I know. I told you, Tim. Chicago ain't no joke. You are gonna freeze your off because that Great Lake, Canada, that Canada front comes right off the lake, right down to Chicago. Are you kidding me? You are going to make sure you have your long johns on. It gets cold. Hanging in there. Things. How was your first experience? I'm not gonna say, I really don't have anything bad to say because honestly, it was a trial and error for me. Like I had everything, I had the shelves in the outside, then had straight tables, and then I had my backdrop. Well, that wasn't working. People were seeing the end caps, but they weren't seeing anything else. So I moved the tables and made a V shape so now they could see most of what was going on. Um, and then I made, like a $5, anything on this table is $5. So it kind of worked out better when I did that. So it is all a learning experience because it is the first one. So you got to figure out what works and what doesn't. So I'm pretty happy actually. Experience is priceless. Exactly. I didn't expect to sell out. I didn't expect to be really, really busy. But I got a lot of good tips and a lot of pointers of what I do start off with right off the bat. So now I know I changed my display. It worked better this way. Um, what brings in people, what doesn't. So it kind of is a good thing. Yeah, I broke even for my first show. So I'm not complaining, honestly. It's only fallen. It's 29 degrees at night. Oh yeah, just wait till winter. Just wait till February, man. Heard that Missouri will have warmer winter this year. I've been hearing that too, and that the East Coast is actually going to they've had light winters for the past like 6 years. Normally, I mean, when I was there, man, we were getting drifts of snow. They had to dump the snow in the bay because they had nowhere else to put it. And now they're lucky if it does. Misery isn't much better with all the weather wise. Oh, and by the way, misery, Missouri. I call it misery. Somebody lied. Born in Indiana. Oh my goodness. Yes, it was a good trial run. I'm not gonna, I have nothing bad to say. Actually, the organization itself was really nice as far as, being the first one ever that I have done in over 20 years. It was nice that they had everything organized. They had the actual section laid out by 10 by 10s. They had my number on the grass. So I knew exactly where I was supposed to be. I was able to go in on Friday to set up. So Saturday, I just had to bring product and set up. And then Sunday was breakdown. The breakdown is and they even had it, you had to break everything down, get a pass in order for you to bring your car up to load up. But I just carted everything back and forth. And then I checked out and they're like, oh, well, you can just go. Thanks. You're fine. You're good to go. And I'm like, yeah, because honestly, fighting everyone to get the car closer, it was just easier to walk it the 2 blocks up and over. So I had a wagon and that kind of worked. I'm in Cali. Woo, CL driver. Hey, 30 degrees and light snow in Montreal. Dreaming of a warmer weather and it's just started. Oh my God. I don't know. I'm all set. Thanks. No, I don't want to. I don't like cold. I mean, cold, at least you can bundle up, you can layer up, and you can do a whole bunch of stuff. But my days of freezing are over. I will, what would they call it? Chasing 70. Yeah, that's a good one. I'll chase 70. Yes, absolutely. I am not too proud to say that. Nice tour. Yep. Watched that earlier. That's what I get for multitasking while I chat. Sorry, I misread your comment. Yeah, it's been definitely a learning experience. I've got, like I said, my next show is December 9th and 10th. I'm trying to see if there are any other shows before that time. And if there's a show just before Christmas for like holiday shopping. So hopefully, Black Friday sales. So I'm going to start now. Tomorrow, I'm going to redo the whole entire website to include everything. I was using Square this time because they have a tap right off the iPhone, which was easy to do. And a lot of people do use Square. So I was able to organize that really, really well. So that's how I'm going to organize it for the website. And I'm going to change a whole bunch of stuff there. So stay tuned for that because I feel that's more conducive to show all that I have. I mean, what I've had in there has just been bracelets, but I mean, I have bracelets, I have earrings, I have rings, I have sun catchers, I have tarot cards, I have, so much stuff that I could offer that I haven't uploaded because I just didn't have the time. So definitely going to be working on that this week now that I've handed out my cards to everyone. Be changing the prices appropriately. I had to research how much, different stones were and things like that to make sure that I didn't price myself out. And so I didn't, which is kind of good for the show. And actually, it seemed to be a better fit. So I am going to be doing that. So you can guys watch out for that. Yay! Count me in. As soon as I can get rid of my truck and get into a van, I'm out cold weather. I'm out of cold. Yes, indeedy. I'm over winter already. It hasn't even really started, Rose. Absolutely. You know what? I mean, I hope, I hope you do. And I will pray that you can get out of that situation and that you sell your truck quick and you get on the road. Because, there's so many different things out there that you don't need to do, be in a situation where you're at. And honestly, girl, you can do it. Your family will be there. Your family will be there. I'll take 50 any day in Illinois. Yeah, 50 is fine. Here in Texas at night, we're in the 50s. And during the day, we're in the, anywhere between 60 and 80 right now. And so it's fine. 50s are fine. 40s are even fine. You know what I mean? But when you start getting into the 30s, yeah, no, I gotta go. I mean, sometimes courtside does get that, does get, in the 30s, but you just got to make sure you have your heater or your electric blanket working and you're fine. I've wanted to try a farmer's market to try sell cookies since they do sell baked goods. Yes, absolutely, they do. Selling is not my thing, so I'm usually just gift them to friends and family. You know what? I mean, I, I, if you believe in your product, believe in me, you will have no problem selling. There's one thing about selling. If you can sell what you love, it's not really selling. You're expressing your joy into your product. Like when I'm talking about jewelry, I know, stones, I know crystals, I know what they do, I know how they perform and what they're used for metaphysically, and what where they come from, what part of the world. Tanzania, you know what I mean? Things like that. Rhodochrosite and all the different things, all the different stones. When I'm passionate about something, it's not really selling. You're just sharing your passion. So don't be afraid of doing that. I mean, think of it this way, Annie. If you don't try, you don't know. I mean, what's the worst that's going to happen? You're going to have a lot of extra baked goods that you're going to give to friends anyway. But why don't you give it a try? It's, not gonna hurt anything. Hey, that's what I'm doing. I mean, there's tons of jewelry sellers out there. But you know what? I have my own unique brand. So you know what? That's fine. I'm more into the metaphysical and the more, I don't want to say witchcraft, but more into that kind of reading your aura and being into yourself. And a lot of jewelry makers, they just want to sell. And it's like they'll buy product from somebody and then rebrand it and sell it themselves. And I'm like, no, mine are, I source the beads, I put them together. You know what I mean? There are some things, okay, tarot cards I can't make, y'all. Of course, I'm going to buy those and resell them. You know what I mean? But there are some things, but for the most part, for the beaded jewelry itself, I love doing it. Hey, if you sell what you love and you know what you love. So all you're doing is just talking about what you love. Yes. Amen. Hello, everybody. Hey, Elsa, how you doing? But 50 isn't okay. Hope all business cards went for future purchase plans. Yes, I'm hoping. But if not, at least it's out there. Great, good karma is going to come back. You got to put it out there. If you don't put your energy out there, nothing's going to come back. So that's the way I look at it. Absolutely. Everybody's saying, hi. I love my family. If you ask how much I charge for work that I have done, in my head, you can't afford my work, but Pat, what you think it's worth to you? Yeah, but you know, how much for the work? Everyone has their own special way of doing things. So getting paid what you're worth, is you're funny that way because when Tim and I get together, Tim buys this, a pork belly or, that's very expensive. And I don't expect him to pay it, for everything and feed me. Of course not. I give him some money and, and he's even doesn't want to take that. And I'm like, no, I know this is, it's expensive and you're not made of money either. So I go ahead and put, some money towards it, and so, yeah, what you think it's worth. But in the same respect, Tim, I mean, anytime that you really do anything, you say, hey, you buy the parts and I'll help you put it in. You know what I mean? So it's not like you're buying the parts and you're doing this and you're doing this and you're doing this. And you do that out of the kindness of your heart, and you really don't expect anything to be get paid or anything like that. But, for us that are on the other side, we kind of want to do that because it makes us feel good that we're helping you. You spent your time and your energy to do it. So we want to pay you for your time. So think of it that way. It's not, don't feel funny about it. It's just, we got to know because it's just not right. So we want to support you too. Okay? Because we love you. Yes. What, Annie, what's going to happen? What's the worst that's going to happen? You're going to have extra stuff you're going to give to friends anyway. Okay, but why don't you give it a try? If you love doing it, do it. Stop dreaming it and start living it. Start doing it. Because I put myself out there. I don't know if my jewelry is going to, whatever, but I'm going to do the best I can. You know what I mean? What gemstone gives you warmth? A lot of them. Fire quartz, it's a good one. Um, Obviously fire. Fire's warmth. Right off the bat, I'm thinking fire quartz. Carnelian's also good. That's for wealth and well-being. Um, let's see, citrine. Uh, Citrine's more for wealth. Protection. There's a lot of protection. There's a lot of health. Fire quartz just comes to mind automatically because it's such, or fire opal. Opal's a good one too. Ooh, yes, yes. I did about $200 from Lollapalooza, installing and do off things for others. Yes, but that's what helps him because we know, you're not made of money and you're doing your time and your expertise and we're contracting that out. Yeah, it might not be, it's better to pay a friend than it is to pay a mechanic who actually is going to probably charge us triple to do it. And I'd rather help a friend and a fellow nomad than help a mechanic who does it every single day of his life. You know? Absolutely. I feel those types of show where your booth is located and affects how much you sell. Absolutely. That's why I said this one was the first one. And it, like I said, it was last minute Charlie. So I didn't really have that too much of a choice to do it because, I got what was left. You know what I mean? I was late to the program because I didn't know that I would be workforce reduced. So, you know, I still made do with what I had and I still had fun. I still met some other vendors. I met, a lot of people. There were a couple people that asked me about certain things and we got to talking about different gemstones and different things. So it was kind of really interesting and really nice to meet other people. That's one thing I kind of missed being remote is that you didn't get to meet a lot of people. And so, because I either worked from home or, I went to the office. And so it was nice to actually meet just regular people again. I missed that. See, that's great. I agree. Absolutely. Good one, Tim. I like your work. Except my fire extinguisher on my Cascade camper is still not straight. And I'm never gonna let you forget it. Because I love you. I love you, Tim. Ah, I mean, XR is so seriously now. Did the work 4 times on one seat. Yeah, because he put in the wrong screws in one way. It's supposed to be the other side, and he put in the wrong one. Aw. Learn as you go. I'm proud of you for doing your first show. Yes, I did. Sometimes the fear is the unknown and can be overwhelming, and it was because I didn't know if I had enough stock, if I would run out. It was always like kind of an anxious thing, and I even had backup beads with me that were not done. They were just in baggies with the string and everything ready to go. That if I all of a sudden sold out, I had something as a backup. So, I mean, yeah, it is the fear of the unknown, of not knowing, and then what works. Obviously the U shape didn't work. I had to make a V and then have just enough space in between the two tables that I could go back and forth. And I had my backdrop that had my logo and everything in the back. So I had to change the setup. Why? Because the other one wasn't working. Nobody was really looking. And so when I moved the tables together so they got a better view of what I had to offer, then I had people kind of, oh, what's that? Oh, what's that? So these are things you got to learn. And the only way you're going to learn is by doing that. So yeah, it's the first show, but I'm pretty happy that, I didn't make a huge profit, but I did get out there. And that was the thing. Hey, it was free free of charge, no warranty. I know, but it just gives me a chuckle. It makes me smile every time I see it though. Because I know it's from you. And I love you. Mechanics don't care. You are a job, exactly, not a person. Exactly. A person, a friend, part of the family. You got it. Absolutely. And honestly, I'd rather support my family instead of supporting somebody else. Hell yeah. In a heartbeat. It was smart of you to see the setup wasn't working and changed it. Yeah. Because, that's one thing you have to be attuned to is, okay, the market, they're looking at all this stuff, and it doesn't help. Like paparazzi is $5 for everything, but their quality is atrocious, and they don't have crystals. They have all acrylics or metals, or you know what I mean, it's plastic or glass or whatever. And I'm like, yeah, mine is the real deal. But the best part is when people were seeing, because I brought the kits with me so people could see that I was actually doing the work. So I was creating earrings and I was creating bracelets while I was in between, not having anybody there. And they're like, what's she doing? What's she doing? Oh, she's making a bracelet. And some people would watch as or I did a macrame one, one of my macrame ones. I was, knotting everything and they were looking at it, and it's kind of nice. And then when somebody bought something, and I would cleanse it in the crystal and have my incense going. So I had some aromatherapy going. I had like patchouli going, and I would cleanse the stones and everything else before I would give them their purchased product. And they were all like, wow, thank you for doing that. So it sets me apart from just the normal, here you go. So I was kind of happy about that. True, Tim. I have a tail light warning. Once I see your tail lights, warranty's done. That's it, right? I like that one. That was good. That's a good one. That's a good warranty. Warranty's done when I see your taillights. That means you drove off, you're done. Those are all very good visuals. Yeah. And it surprised me how well they did. The fact that people were seeing me doing everything and seeing me, charge the crystals and clear quartz on a copper bowl, and which is copper's charging crystals naturally because it's from the earth. So there's all this kind of stuff going on, and everybody's like, wow, thanks for doing that. Because totally, for those that are followers of metaphysical crystals, they were just impressed. And I'm like, it's who I am. Here's my card. Email me if you want a custom order. So it's getting the name out there. It's the first show, and I'm pretty satisfied with what the outcome. But I'm reasonably priced. Food. So if I brought food over in exchange for some work, we're good. Because I can cook, right? that mo bang for your buck. I don't know. I'm messing with you, Tim. I am messing with you, okay? I love you. You're my brother from another mother, man. It's funny because you eat the same food I do, so it's like people look at me, oh, what's a fish cake? Ugh. I'm like, yum, let's go. That's what I tell people. Feed me and we're all good. Yeah, but you end up always feeding everybody else. I don't get that. Well, I should say you end up always feeding me. Like I said, because it's always Asian food and stuff, and I'm like, oh yeah, let's go. um, but I make sure I always pay for some money. I give you some money, at least something. At least I try. Typical guys, right? And that's funny. All men, that's all they want is their bellies full. Women, they're like, okay, I want this, I want this, I want this, I want that. I'm pretty much just, I swear I must be a dude sometimes because I'm like, my belly's full, I'm good. Everybody's like, oh well, I want to buy a bracelet. No, you're my family. No, that doesn't happen. You know what I mean? They're like, well, you gotta just feed me something. I'm good. Because you're the only one crazy enough to eat my kind. See, that's what I'm saying. My kind of food, right? Fish cakes. People are like, what the hell's a fish cake? Oh, well, if you don't eat it, then you ain't gonna like it. You ain't gonna know. So yeah. I always heard the way to a man's heart is through his stomach. Yep, I agree. I found the wrong thing in. That's for sure. Yeah, well, you know, I'm happy just, I cook. I had to cook for the family. I learned to cook and I cook pretty good, now. So most of the time my son comes over, he goes, I want sloppy chicken because he doesn't want to make it. It's easy to make, but he doesn't want to make it. He's too lazy to do it and everything else. But boy, when I make it, he polishes off half the thing like nobody's business. And I'm like, do you not eat not home cooked meals? Well, what? Now, granted, he's 20, so he does eat, other people's food, but he doesn't. I'm like, you need to cook. You need to learn how to cook something. You can't, always depend on everybody else to feed you. I'm just happy tinkers and eating. Yeah. See, I think that's once you find something you're really good at and you really like, I mean, it's not really, I don't know. It's not a job. Tinkering. I figured you got it. Tinkering. Whoop whoop. Hello, fellow dashers. And from, I ain't even going to say that. Victoria, Australia, talking about full bellies. Just had a scotch. Oh, filet steak for lunch. The bride's gone to town and getting work done. Oh, really, Graham? Graham. Scotch filet steak? Really? Hi, Graham. How are you? Good to see you. My estranged adopted mom was a retired chef for over 50 years and would tell people Rose is a good cook when she cooks. But I have a whole new experience cooking on the road. Yeah, cooking on the road is not the same as cooking in a kitchen. It takes twice the time, and I learned to downsize. Now, I'm used to cooking for a family of 4, not for 1. So, and I can eat leftovers for maybe 1 day, but that's about it. So it's kinda nice when I cook that I just cook enough for 1, maybe 1.5, so maybe I'll have a little snack later or snack for the next day. But I try not to do anything more than that. And I learned how to cook for that. And that honestly is the best way because nobody really likes to eat leftovers. And it's really kind of hard to reheat leftovers in, you know, a van. So there's no microwave or anything else that you can just pop it in there for 30 seconds, you know? But because you end up having it cooked, like, if you put it back on the pot, so you gotta put a little water, and you gotta do this, and you gotta steam this, you gotta da, da, da. It's a lot more work than have leftovers than cooking it straight and eating a good, solid meal per meal. So, yeah, cooking on the road is definitely different. Whoop, whoop. Sailing crystal waters. Oh boy. Can't wait to try your food, Rosie. Opened your mouth, Rose. Now you're gonna have to put it up. Put your money where your mouth is. Oh, oh. I'm expert cook for 2 now. Yes, he is. Man, he can make anything. He's got like a skillet that's on an adjustable heat temperature, and he has a cover on it. So he can make soup. He's made quite a lot of things in that little thing. He can use it as a hot plate. He can use it as a pan. He can use it for soup. He can use it for a lot of things. And I'm like going, wow, I'm pretty impressed. But yes, Tim can cook on that thing for 2 like nobody's business. I agree with Tim. Yep, you got the thumbs up from me. I'm the official taste tester for Tim's cooking. I'm used to eating leftovers. So it's going to be a learning experience for me. Yeah, and it is. But you know what? Everything is a learning experience because the minute that you stop learning is the minute you're dead. So it's okay. Take it with strides and, look forward and say, okay, no problem, no biggie. And you learn to do it because I hate wasteful food. There's a lot of people that are hungry. I've gone hungry sometimes. You know what I mean? When I earlier in my adult life, and I've it's not a feeling I ever want to visit again. So I've learned to cook for 1. And I don't waste food because it's just not the way I am. And when you have a 30-cent ramen, that's all you can eat for the day. Trust me, you learn to cook and you now learn to cook not to be wasteful. So I'm okay with that. Totally up there. And let me figure out how to cook on the road before you pass judgment, okay? Yes. If you heard about Labradoodles, me and my bride are thinking of breeding Mastiffs and Poodles to make it. Mastiff-Poodles. Okay, Grandma. All right. Mastiff-Poodles. Okay. Have you done? You should do it. It's a good. That's a good thing, Pam. Yeah. I mean, I swear it's a little square skillet with a lid on it, and he sticks it in like a wok. The little temperature gauges that you use for a normal electric wok. Yeah, he's got one of those, and honestly, he can cook a lot of delicious meals on that. Should probably do that. It's a good point there. Please, y'all, hit the likes for Lisa. Oh, thank you, thank you, thank you. I got 4 likes. Woohoo! I should probably even do it myself, huh? My own likes. Come on. Okay, it doesn't want to work for me today. Anyways, I'll do it. Would there be a cook-off at Quartza? Hey, that's a good idea. We probably should. Or at least have a potluck. That's a good idea, Annie. Will there be a cook-off? We could make one. Why not, right? Find out what the prize is. But honestly, that would be a good one. Because I got to tell you, man, we had a potluck at Lollapalooza and we had so much food left over. It wasn't even funny. I mean, people don't understand that you need to only cook for about 2 or 3 people because people are just going to sample stuff. They're not going to make a whole meal out of your dish. And people are bringing these quart-sized big, slow cooker pots full of chili or this or that. And I'm like, dude, if you only make chili for about 2 people or 3 people, because people are just going to take a little bit and they're going to take a little bit of everything and put that on their plate. You don't need a big dish because that's not a whole meal, people. Couldn't do it. Very lazy YouTuber. I'm hungry. Cook and eat for less than 30 minutes. No time for to video. You know what though? Honestly, most meals, I mean, especially when you have kids or a family or something, need to be done in 30 minutes anyway. Because honestly, it only takes that long. And if you're taking more than 30 minutes, this ain't no gourmet meal, honey. You're cooking for a family. You're hungry. You want to eat now. So you could turn on the camera and just let it sit there in the background on a tripod and just freaking cook your stuff. And then you can always voice in what you're doing later. Because we'd like to know. I think. There's a will, there's a way. Mm-hmm. Already lit it up. Whoop! When will you be in courtside, Lisa? I'm going to try. Okay. Understand, I only have about a month and a few weeks left to completely downsize this whole entire house, get the Cascade camper sold, and get moved into my van and put this house on Airbnb in a month and a half. I don't know if I'm going to do it, but I'm trying to be on the road January 1, headed to courtside. And believe me, already started tearing up this house. I am going absolutely crazy because I like everything in its place and it is not in its place. Is I'm going through stuff and totally purging, downsizing. I mean, I literally have already taken about 4 truckfuls of stuff to Goodwill, just to Goodwill, and took the donation as a tax write-off. Literally, I have probably about another 20 trucks to go because there is so much stuff, not only from me, but from my mother and her whole life. Um, you know, there's a new wave oven. I'm never going to use it in my entire life. Takes too much, room and I'm never going to use it. It's got to go. If I haven't touched it in 6 months, it needs to go because that means I don't use it. That means I don't need it. That means it's got to go. And there's a lot from not only me, but from my mother and my family as well. So literally, it is going to be a nonstop, like crazy time. But I plan to be on the road to courtside January 1. But don't quote me on it. But I definitely will be there for the RTR either way and then have to come back. Either way, I will definitely be there for the RTR. That you can bet on. Let's see what we got. Oh, man, you guys said all these comments yet. Woo. Let's see what we got. Beautiful. The beauty is staying in our mate's front yard. Your bride, Kelly, is magnificent cooks for a battalion. See? We live like kings on leftovers. Yes. But if you're a person that doesn't like leftovers, that's not very good. But yes, totally agree. Meal prep for the trips, extra portions, vacuum freeze package. Yes, I've done that as well. And now that I have a freezer in my new van, which is kind of good. So I totally agree. Vacuum seal everything and put it in there. And that's more of a heat and eat fruit because it's already cooked. You just got to freeze it. You just got to Ziploc it and freeze it. All you got to do is boil water and stick that sucker in there, because it's in a freezer bag already. So you just stick that in boiling water and there you go. You got heat, you're heating up your meal because it's already cooked. Totally agree with that. Yep, I agree. Inquiring minds want to know. At least let us see the skillet. True, I agree. Any bites on the PMC? Not yet. I haven't. I have been so focused on the show and trying to figure out the show and everything else because I knew there was going to be about 4,000 people there. So I have not been able to promote it, but this week I definitely will be. There's a lot of paperwork that I'm going to get done this week. The website being one, the PMC getting that up and posted, whether it be Facebook Marketplace, whether it be Cascade Campers, whether, all of it. I'm going to try and get it because it does need to go, unfortunately. With the job I had, I could afford both payments, but now I can't. So it definitely has to be sold. And I was trying to keep them both, but that's just not going to happen. I have to let my other baby go. And it'll have a great life with somebody else. But she'll have to go. But she comes with, the Carcel, everything that's PMC specific, because like the sunshades for the outside, and I can't use them for the big truck because they're made for the PMC. So that goes with it. The screens go with it. The outdoor shower that's specifically made with the Cascade camper setup. All these things I've purchased for the PMC. So that's all going to go with it, along with the Carcel, because that doesn't fit on the big one. So that's going to go with the PMC. So I'm going to include all that stuff. So the person who's going to get the PMC is going to get a lot of the stuff that they don't have to repurchase, that they're going to use. I have the Clean Waste portable toilet. I've never used. I didn't like it. It was too much. I didn't even use it, but I'm just like, no, it's not for me. But I bought it. You know what I mean? It's $80. But I'll put that in there, so they'll have a toilet too. So, there are things that'll have. So that'll all go with it. Yeah, but I have to let the baby go. Skydo measuring. Who really measures things to cook? Exactly. It's kind of hard to teach people a recipe that way. I agree. But like making, soup, you'd be like, okay, you look at this and say, okay, it's about that much, maybe a cup, maybe a little over. It's just kind of, there you go. I think they just want to see how the pot functions. And that's probably worth something because a lot of people have not used an electric wok, nor they probably have used that kind of skillet. So it'd be kind of nice to even see, not necessarily what you're cooking, but how you cooking it. Maybe that's a good video to do. I used that skillet to cook meals for me and my son at the Motel 6 for 2 months. Exactly. That's what I'm seeing. You used it in other ways that people wouldn't think of using it. So I think doing a video on what you can cook, not necessarily how you can cook, but what you cook, would be good. You know what I mean? On different things that you can. You can do a steak, but you can do soup. You can do noodles in it. You can steam stuff. You could do a whole bunch of stuff. And I think that's what they probably could use. Very good at making meals out of an INE skillet. Whatever that skillet is. Don't measure anything. Just put it in. It smells good mostly. Yep, exactly. When do a roast, anything leftovers turn into curry rice? Oh yeah, and anything left and that goes into pies. Exactly. For days off of one roast. Exactly. But you have different things that you can use that for. That's the best part. One skillet. Oh, one skillet. Yeah. It's a lot of things you can do with one skillet. My prediction is once you list it, it'll go really fast. Make sure you advertise it nationwide. Yeah, and the best part about it is it's Hey, and I'm going to throw this in there. Best Christmas gift ever. Texas car means no salt, no sand. You know what I mean? It's a Texas car. So that's like a selling point. No, yeah, I'm like, "Well," so who knows? All I know is I'm going to put it out there. I have to. I've been trying not to let the baby go, but I have to let the baby go. I can't do the two of them. Uh, Lisa needs to post it. Yes, I know. I know. I didn't your recipe. I cook to taste and feel. Yeah, I agree. But that's a lot of cooking, you know what I mean? Because you know your taste buds, and most of the time you're just cooking for yourself. And sometimes if you do cook for somebody else, you pretty much don't put salt or something else and you salt to taste. You just tell them, hey, you salt to taste. And I put more than I should. But you know what I mean? And that's fine too. Plant a seed for content in a few weeks on my channel. There you go. Boom. Booyah. There you go. You're welcome. See? Yes, Tim, please. I'm telling you. There you go, Tim. Do you know what you can cook rice on that skillet too? Yeah. You can cook rice on any pot. But how you do it on that skillet's going to make a difference because yours is an electric one, not one that needs a flame. That's why I think it's interesting. So there you go, Tim. No, we didn't since you haven't done a video. Yes, Pam. Oh, that's my girl. Love it, Tim. I love it, Pam. I love it. No, we don't know because you didn't do a video yet, Tim. Hey, Brenda. Hey, how are you? Y'all twisted my arm. Buddhist medicine look likely cooking with your vessel is asking for. Yeah. But I think it's kind of neat because the pot that he has is very interesting. Y'all would get it is an alternative way of cooking by not using a flame. But you got to have the electricity to do it. Okay? So Tim can go over that. Right, Tim? You could best describe my cooking as call the cook. Really call. But every now and then a fluke good one. But that's only in my opinion. Oh my God. Really? Who called the cook? Okay. Okay. But every now and then a fluke one. Then I flew. Okay. But in the okay, I got it. I got it. I had to read that a couple times, Graham, because sometimes oh boy. That's cute though. I like that. You are so funny. Everybody's saying hi. Whoop, whoop, whoop. Exactly. Took me a minute to read it. I'm a little slow. Whew, the hair moved. But then I reread it and said, okay, I got it. I got it. Hey, 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 hey. Carol's in the house. How are you? How are you? Hope you're safe. Hope you're safe. Just getting in on the end. Because I know it's late for y'all. I know, isn't he? He's very clever with his jokes. That's why I had to reread it because I knew it was a joke. And I had to get it for a minute. And I'm like, okay, I got it. I got it. Because I can't say the word. You guys can text it or whatever, but I can't really say the word. I don't want to be taken off the, Papa YouTube here. He is. He is indeed. Everybody saying hello, Carol. Family is here. Whoop whoop. There we go. Rose with the links. Thank you, Rose. Doobie doobie doo. Glorious life on wheels. Yeah, it has been crazy. Yeah, it's 10 p.m. Central Florida, and I'm sorry for being late, but I think I told you all from the earlier live, or the live I tried to do. Tried to do it on the phone, and good Lord, that didn't work out too well. Having the checkout and the breakdown and the checkout and 300 vendors at the same time, that was kind of, yeah, it was an experience, definitely. But I also had to get something to eat. I had to let my puppers out because I was gone all day, things like that. So I knew that if I should put it back an hour to give myself that time where I could just decompress for a few minutes, and to which I did. So which was kind of a nice thing. But breakdown was a heck of a lot easier than I thought. I literally had from complete start to walking into, getting off, getting away, and getting to my home was exactly 1 hour, which surprised even me. I broke everything down and was out by 6 o'clock. Boom, done. Okay. It was quite amazing, actually, between getting all the tents, broken down, the tables, the tablecloths, the lighting, the tent, the sidewalls, the shelving, all that stuff, and I got it broken down, packaged up, in the car, checked out of there, and on the road, walked in my door in 1 hour. Granted, the venue was literally 5 minutes away from, home base, so that's not so bad. Everybody's saying, huh? Congratulations on your first show. It was nice to see your sister was there supporting you as well. And it was so, she always does. She has always been a supporter in all the crazy things I've ever done. But she would stay there for the booth so I could take a walk around to see where was the traffic for next year. Where was the traffic? Where wasn't? Who was selling what and where? Um, any ideas for different things that were happening? So it gave me the opportunity to do that, because when you work your booth alone, you're there. That's it. You don't have time to even go to the bathroom. I mean, she got me lunch yesterday, and she, helped me so much just having that person to stand there so I could go to the bathroom even, So I love my sister so much. Love her and appreciate her every day. It's 9 here. Oh God, it's already an hour. I am so sorry, y'all. You're totally worth waiting for. Ah, I can't be a bad cook every time. I take the bride to the beach. Green Pays arrives and tried to rescue her. You can tell she's not here. Yeah, she probably. Yeah. Yeah. Yep. Dangerous waters, mate. Did this show meet your expectations? Um, I broke even. I think I made $20 profit, but I made the booth money back, and to me that was worth it. I got a lot of contacts, I got a lot of experience, I got a lot of, adjustment and things that I got to learn from. So yeah, I think overall it was definitely exactly what I expected. I didn't expect to sell out or anything else, but I didn't know. Now the expectations of knowing how to work a show and how to do a show is outweighs currently the monetary part, because now when the second show comes up, I already know how I want to place my tables, how I want to have this, what am I going to do, and what drives people in. And so I already figured some of that out. So I figured that was really well to do for the first show. Being able to break even, I'm all good with that. You're walking on thin ice. Yeah, you are. All good. Oh, I have a bride. Wasn't it the bride? Yeah. I don't think he has a bird. I think he has a bride. It's his beautiful bride's not there. Good learning experience. Yes, exactly. That's exactly what I feel. It was well worth it. So everybody, that is, past the hour. That pretty much is what happened this weekend. Great learning experience for me. ODT Crystal Jewelry finally. Watch out for next week because I will definitely be revamping the whole entire site to put all of the things. Now that I was able to work with Square to figure this out, I can move it over to the Shopify to the account. So I know how I need to break things into a more simplistic and more realistic way of presenting an online store. Yay! So that's going to be happening next week because now with all the business cards that I handed out, you better believe I'm going to get that up pretty quick. But next week's pretty much tearing apart the house. It is pretty much getting downsized and taking another maybe 10 loads, hopefully, next week to either Goodwill sell it or whatever, put it on Facebook Marketplace. Also, we'll have the Cascade Camper sold up next week. Whew. Yeah, a lot on the plate, guys. But again, crossing the fingers for January 1. But if I don't make January 1, I definitely will be there for at least 3 weeks during the RTR. Absolutely. Maybe 2 weeks and a week after. So if I don't make it by January 1 and I still have things to accomplish, that's the plan B part. But my plan A is to be on the road full time January 1. So, thanks, guys, for a wonderful week. Everyone, have a great and prosperous week. Be happy because, hey, it's worth being happy. Being sad and angry is just not the way to go. It doesn't work. Easy shopping. Yep. Yes, I probably will be, and that will be on the website as well. Black Friday sale, because that's a busy week ahead. I ain't lying. Stay safe, everyone, please. Yes. Thanks, Rose. Everybody. So if you are new here, I think everybody is pretty much the family already. But if you are a content creator, please put a big old C so we know everyone can follow each other. Make sure you subscribe to every one of your family here because we're supporting each other. Thank you so much for joining me. If you are my moderator, go ahead and drop your links. That would be so wonderful. And I love chatting with you guys. I didn't want to miss Sunday just because of the show. I'm glad that I was able to get you and see you guys. Granted it's an hour later. I apologize for being late for you East Coasters. So be safe, everyone, this week. Take care of yourself and each other. And as always, stop dreaming it and start living it, y'all. Bless you all. Love you. See you.